reporting tool to support monitoring and evaluation of the humanitarian and development operation. So as you may know, as a sector, we have 6 core functions. So we have 6 more responsibility on what suppose this cluster do. One of the main core functions is clearly mapping and monitoring the achievement that's happening on the ground, and depending on this achievement, building the response accordingly. Example, so to see, for example, what's been implemented in Darfur, what's been implemented in South Kordofan, within Darfur, what's been implemented here and there, and when we have additional funding, when we have, a response, when we have emergency. So we have a snapshot about what been implemented, and we are able to guide our response accordingly. So the reporting, it's one of the core function, or the monitoring is one of the core function of the sector, and we usually use the activity info to monitor this. Second, now the clusters utilize activity info to measure the achievement. As I mentioned to you, by beginning of the year, all of you participate in developing the HRP, which is the Humanitarian Response Plan. Within the Humanitarian Response Plan, we tell the donor, we tell the world, we tell everyone as it's public that, look, for Sudan 2023, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this area, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and we'll target those people 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So, which is more estimation what we are planning to do depending on our capacity and needs. Then, by end of the year, as cluster and as a system, as sector, we are obliged to go and tell our donor, our partner, our stakeholder, we tell them, look, out of what we proposed in January in our HRP, we have reached by December this amount of, location, this amount of beneficiaries, and we fail to lose, for example, to reach 60, 50% of our beneficiary due to funding issue. How to make this case? We need to monitor the achievement. And to monitor this achievement, we need the activity info. So without this, we cannot make a case. This is the importance of, showing a case to our donors on quarterly basis sometimes. And when we do a report on reporting about the achievement of our HRD, the Humanitarian Response Plan by December. Now, what is the benefit of the activity info? Why we are collecting the data? Number one, as I mentioned to you, activity info will allow you and will allow us to have, with one click, a clean structure of better analysis for the sector information management, what we are doing, where, why, and it's easily within one click. If we have super good submission, we can analyze the data and we can build the case depending on this. I will give you an example. So the example that I mentioned to you a week ago, we were discussing within the ICG, which is intersector, intercluster, and with our friend in OCHA, launching a new allocation for a fund, for example, in X location. So if we have this data, for me directly, I use the activity info, me and the subnational level coordinator, we know clearly where is the area that we are working on, where is the huge need that we have, and we bring that from HRP and HNO, and we cross-cut that, and we know clearly that X area, the severity is too high, but if we look to our 4.5 Ws, we see no one is reporting there. So we prioritize this area. So to do that within the activity info, it's so easy. It's one click with our genius information management people. They can do that easily for us. So it is saving time, it is more friendly use, and it is super quick for us to have a snapshot about our response comparing to Excel. Second benefit, I believe, it's also simplified format comparing to 5W Excel for you. It's more easy, and you will go now with Habib on how to fill that. I'm pretty sure most of you also familiar with this, but also, yeah, it's more friendly use comparing with the Excel and all of the complication of Excel. Of course, activity info support multi-language. I'm not sure if it is supported here in Sudan or not yet, but still, I mean, there is multi-language that can be used there. Partner, you will have access to entire data. So, for example, within the Excel, sometimes, turnover of the staff, not proper handover, any problem happen with your laptop, your computer, you may lose the data. But here you have access to your entire year data, and you can use this data as well directly if you have a report to your private donor, for example. So your data, it will be saved all the time on our cloud. And yeah, and you have the capacity to download this data, benefit from this data, and you know that it's safe in the cloud, and you can use it anytime you want. Finally, also the exporting, the analysis as well. It's something also super useful for us for the activity info. Uh, for sometimes, for some partner who wants, for example, to continue using Excel, also we have good option for you. You can use the same Excel similar to the skeleton of the activity info that we have, and we'll go for this with Habib now. And you can import your data. So if you prefer to use Excel, but not sending Excel to us, you still work on Excel on your laptop, then you click from Activity Info, import, everything will be directly imported to Activity Info. So that means we'll not receive Excel, but still for you, if you want just like to Ctrl C, Ctrl V, directly within the Activity Info, it's still visible. The most important part for me, and yeah, during my first 2 months with Sudan, now 2 months and a half, I believe when we have solid information management system and solid reporting from you guys, it will make us more able to show visibility to our donor, to our senior management, to everyone, to say, yes, see, this is the sector is doing in this area. This is the area it's not funded well. This is the area in huge need, and we need to work on. So by ensuring efficient reporting that's coming from you, and ensuring that we visualize the data that's coming from you, and showing that publicly to the donor, so it could enhance also, maybe sometimes enhance, a prioritizing area, maybe enhance funding, maybe enhance making a case in if you want to show a comparison between areas that is, for example, heavily targeted and area is super forgotten. So also that's will be good for us for increasing our visibility for donor OCHA and for everyone. And as you may see, the sector already starts by issuing bi-monthly report. I'm pretty sure most of you received the bi-monthly report about the gap and the response that we have from January to February. So hopefully within upcoming days, inshallah, if we have very good a submission for the first quarter for the 5Ws, definitely we'll add one page as well about visualizing your input as general protection, and add that to the report. So this is in theory quick a quick update on activity info. What's being changed, I will leave that now to Habib, but in quick manner, I just want to mention what's being changed from last year to this year, that will continue having quarterly submission. That means January, February, March. But within the quarterly submission, we'll ask you to disaggregate. That means you will do January alone, February alone, and March alone. But you are not requested to do that in monthly basis. For example, if you want to do it on monthly basis, it's up to you, but it is quarterly. So for example, by 20 March, for example, you will enter all the achievement and the target that you reach within the first quarter, but you have to disaggregate it by months, telling me in January I reached this amount, in February I reached this amount, and in March I reached this amount. So the reporting period will be quarterly, but you have to disaggregate by monthly. Mostly also, as I mentioned, reporting is mandatory requirement for all sector partner. As you may know, we are updating our TOR for the sector, and one of the main issue for us to maintain your partnership or your membership within the sector to report to the 5W is if you have any activity implemented within the reporting period. So before we move to Habib, if anyone has any question, please feel free to raise your hand, put it on the chat box. Otherwise, over to you, Habib. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. Thank you, Mohammed. Ramadan Kareem for all of you. Thank you very much for attending this training session. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, Habib, go ahead.
Yes, you can see it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. To access activity info, first of all, thank you, Mohammed, for the quick introduction for the activity info, which is the online tool that you can access it at any time, anywhere, and you can upload, edit, extract records rather than going back and forth by emails and Excel sheets and a lot of human being mistakes. All of us know that Excel sheets somehow have some limitation. As well, it guarantee the confidentiality and security, so partner cannot see other or edit other partner record. They see only their own records. Um, uh, it guarantee as well a log record, so at any time partner can see or can audit the action that happen to that record. And in the future, the activity info will be linked to an interactive dashboard that all of our partners can use it as their own dashboard. They will just that will be public, and then they can present it at any time. Um, Colleagues who have subscribed to that link will receive an activation email from Activity Info saying that they have been granted access to Activity Info, and then they just click on to activate their accounts and then follow the steps, and then their account will be easily activated. After that, you just go to activityinfo.org. I will paste the link here. You go to just activityinfo.org, and then you click login. As you can see, you click login, and then you will have access to your database, which is this one, Sudan Protection Sector IDP Monitoring Tool. As you can see here is the form. So you access the 2023 protection sector. It's I don't know if I assume that most of you have already dealt with the activity info for the last year, and most of you have are familiar with the activity info. It's almost the same structure for this year, and then in order to add the record, you just click add record. Tamam. Here you can see, as mentioned by Mohammed, you have to report the monthly report. Let's say we are reporting in March or February. Tamam. And then you select your own organization, say NRC, for example. And then if it is direct implementation, yes or no. If it is yes, it's fine. If it is no, you have to put your implementing partner. And then we select the state. For example, let's say North Darfur, and then Al Fashir. And then you select the indicator. As you can see, the subsector is general protection. And then you select the activity. Okay, most of the activities have one indicator. However, for the legal assistance, it have two indicators. So all of the other activities have only one indicator. So once you select the activity, automatically the indicator appear here in the unit. However, if you select the legal assistance, you have to select either legal identity issued or person who received legal assistance or counseling. So we select the activity, we select the indicator, and the unit by default will be mentioned. We have the indicator achievement. For this, for example, we have person who received legal assistance and counseling during March or during February. We have 10 person who received, and then by default, the total beneficiary should be than individual because it is a person. And then, for example, let's have the difference between the indicator achievement and the beneficiary reached. The difference is, for example, let me check the other another one. For example, here we have number of household who received cash assistance. Sorry, number of household with specific need who received cash assistance. Here we have, for example, let's say we reached 10 household. So by default, it should be 50 individuals, as we assume that one household equal 5 individual. For other, for example, is community support project completed. So we have a project, for example, community support project. Let's say we have completed 2 projects for that month. And by that project, community support project that we completed, for example, we reached 500 individuals. So this is the difference between the individual reached or total beneficiary reached and the indicator achievements. Same thing, for example, if you are building community-based structure, you have to put how many community-based structure you built or you rehabilitate, for example, and then how many beneficiary will you will reach or will benefit from that community-based structure. Here, as you can see, let me just change it to, for example, here we have the unit is person, number of person reached through information management, information awareness raising. Let's say we reached 100. So by default here you see an error, so it should be equal 100 because the unit is person. So once you put achievement equal 100, the beneficiary reach automatically should be 100, or you will have this red flag. Here we have gender breakdown available, if yes or no. If it is yes, how many male and how many female? For example, if I put 20, there is a red flag because the total is 70 is not equal to 100, so it should be the total should be equal the same to the beneficiary reached. Same thing for age breakdown. If how many children, how many adult, and how many elderly, say. And if you have any additional information, and then you save your record. As you can see here, we added a new achievement for that indicator to that location. Now, if you can see here, this arrow, you can expand or collapse. So what we do, you select your indicator, it should be highlighted in green. You expand it, and then you can see the indicator or the record information or the record details. You can delete your record, you can print the record, or you can even edit it. So once you edit the record, for example, you made the mistake on the indicator, for example, you made the mistake on the aggregation. Let's say here we have 40 and 60, and then you hit save, and then you can see here that the aggregation have been changed. The other point that I told you, that ActivityInfo track any change happen to those records, and it's available at your level that you can see who did what to that record, because you will be 2 focal point per each organization. So in order to assure the accountability, you can as well track it. As you can see here, you can click on the history, and then you can see that I added this record, and then at this time I, by my email, changed this field from this to this, and this changed this field from this value to this value. So I recommend you to do not share your credential with anyone or with any other colleagues, because believe me, it happened on previous cases that one of colleagues have shared his credential, activity info credential, to other colleague that he was not or she was not trained, and they click by mistake, delete, 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 and then at the end of the reporting period, we found that that partner have missed a lot of indicator. However, he assured that he uploaded one. Once we went back to the log file, we found that the same guy who uploaded, after a while he started deleting it. And once we inspected that, he said, yeah, I already shared it with this colleague. So please make sure to do not share your credential with anyone else, because you are the only accountable vis-a-vis any audit. Tamam. So this is quickly how to add or edit a record, how to read the record as well. And then this feature is how to export. If you would like to export it into Excel sheet, if you have a quick meeting or a quick request from the manager or from the program in order to have asking you to have your achievements, you just click export selected columns, and then it will be downloaded here. And then it is downloaded, and then you just put it in a nice way, and then you present it to your managers. The other thing, we know that you will have a lot of records to upload every month or every quarter. So we will share with you, as mentioned by Mohamed, we will share with you a bulk upload Excel sheet that it will help you uploading the list of activities into the activity info. And somehow this is the format. It is not yet finalized, but this is quick format. I will show you now how to import from a bulk upload Excel sheet. تمام. So here we have the option import. You click import, you come to your Excel sheet, you have to select from the beginning, from the headers, تمام, to the footer, from the headers to all your records that you'd like to upload. You just copy it and then you paste it here. تمام. Just 1 second. Just I would like to have something. Save this. 20. Okay, so you select your record, you click import, and then you paste it, تمام, and then click continue. Technically, once everything is green, it is fine, but you can see here there are some red flags. Wherever you have red flags, that means an error, and you remember that I have changed this value into why it is red flag, because this one is 10 households and the beneficiary reach should be 50, because it should be 5 individual per household. This is the normal, or this is the standard definition by all humanitarian um, entities. Same thing here, red, because the total between rich male and rich female not equal to the total beneficiary reach. Same thing here. So we need to go back, correct our input. Now it is corrected, and then you click, you select, and then we click import. we paste it, and then we click OK. Make sure that everything is green. Once everything is green, that means it's okay. We click continue, and you can see here the action is add. Don't be afraid from this pink thing. This pink is not, that means it is not mandatory because we selected the direct implementation. Tamam. And same thing here, the additional information, it is not a mandatory field. Once you click done, you will see that 10 records have been imported, and then you can see easily your record have been uploaded here. The same thing, you can select your record, you can read your record, you can see the history once it was uploaded, edited, printed, deleted if you wish. Export as well. Again, if you would like to export your record, it will be exported. And this is the file that it was exported from the activity info. You can put it in a nice way. Same thing here. Before I go, before I finish my presentation, here you can filter any field. For example, if you would like to filter by, or to sort it, for example, by ascending or descending, filter by organization name. For sure, you have only your own organization name. For example, filter by state. I would like to just see Darfur state. I just click here Darfur, and then automatically it filter my Darfur state. You see here that I put as location state starting by Darfur, have Darfur as name. You click clear filter if you would like to edit. Same thing if you would like to search your by, to filter by indicator, or to filter by activities, or to filter by if it is you'd like to see only the direct implementation, only, and so on. So those are how to filter, how to sort by if you'd like to just to sort by location, ascending. Tamam. This is most of it. This is the activity info tool for the protection 2023 5Ws. This is briefly the presentation. We remain at your availability. We remain available if you have any further question or any further support needed. We'll be reachable by email, by Teams, or even by WhatsApp. I hand over by this. I almost finished, and I open the floor for any question. Over to you. Over to Jaber.
Good morning, colleagues. Thank you so much, Habib, and thanks, Mohammed, for putting this back again and sharing this updated version of AI. Just, I know there are some new faces in the chat. My name is Abdurrahman Jaber. I'm working with Habib as part of the IM team as a senior IMO. My point is just to maybe just to reflect some comments quickly. Just to highlight, based on our communication and meeting of those who's joining the IM working group with OCHA, the direction, yes, we do have a quarterly update on our HRP indicators on the 5W, which we having here, but also they are pushing to direct direction for improving on monthly approach for monthly reporting. We do see this in the Shelter NFI cluster. They do report on monthly basis. I do understand the tool here is speaking about quarterly to update, segregated, as Mohammed mentioned, as well, Habib. It's give you the possibility to report on monthly basis. But the main core here is we are looking for to have this on a quarterly basis. My key message here is I would encourage all partners, if they have the capacity and possibility to report on monthly basis, the tool will not stop you. You will be in a position to report on monthly basis. And I'm just imagine that if we move to that direction to improve our data to toward of being monthly updating, I think that will help a lot the way of how we analyze the data and how we see our data. One of the key messages we receive headquarter GPC is to have more analytical analysis attached to protection cluster in general. That's something I would encourage you all to put it in consideration. We speak now about two focal point trend. Also, we are available to do this in Arabic if needed. We do a lot of individual training capacity sometimes, so do not hesitate to reach IM team, me, Habib, that we can work with you on that. That's one of the key messages I would like to highlight and see it. Let us give it a chance. I do understand within Sudan operation, Shelter NFI, they are able to do this on monthly basis. They have their own tools, they have their own analysis on monthly basis. Why not us? I think that's something we need to think of on the way forward. Second, I want to highlight the other point. I see some question from the colleagues briefly. This tool is not meant to be UNHCR tool, or is not meant to be UNICEF tool. It's not meant to be, I see many names of NGOs here. But the point here, this tool is meant to be our own tool. In very soon future, we will have interactive dashboard. I'm not sure if Habib can just share other example of Shelter NFI, for example, dashboard. I'm just what you see on the screen, if you are able to see it. This is Shelter NFI dashboard, reading directly from ActivityInfo. All the partners there are able to filter their field. They're able to see the direction, the dynamo, the trend of their input, etc. And it's become their own tool advocating about their achievement. That's something we need to put it this way of our ActivityInfo direction. Is not meant to be UNHCR tool or protection or Mohamed tool. It's actually your own tool, and I trust as much you invest and put effort in improving your data will help to present it more accurate. And on the top of that, which Mohammed earlier mentioned at the beginning of this meeting, speaking about fund, speaking about it's also advocacy tool, colleagues. It's something we really keen to have and helping us a lot to improve our fund. And it's not us. We have a constraint attached to fund, attached to Africa in general, while we're facing Ukraine situation, etc. I don't want to take a lot of time, but just want to put it in a comments or highlighting. Please put it as your own tool. Soon you will have something can analyze the data. That's the second remark I would like to highlight. The last one, we mentioned about two focal points. Yes, we can train, we can work on the way forward. We encourage you to make your update on monthly basis, but also this tool allow you to, at any certain level, at any certain time, to retrieve your data, export it into Excel sheet, and you have your own creativity to analyze the data. So it's not limiting you to have it at our level only, but you also, and we are looking for that you also guide us to support improving and enhancing the tool and improving the data quality in this tool. Whatever magic tool we bring on the table, if it's not really used and having information, for me, it's useless, honestly. That's what the aim we are looking for. I do understand when I talk to Habib as well, Mohammed, briefly, we have a bit behind in terms of reporting. And I think that's something we need to work together, a collective effort to ensure that we have updated information on timely basis. The last comment I have is speaking about general protection, child protection, GBV, etc. If those who stayed with us for long so far, we initiated the idea to have all-in-one tool. It took us a long time to implement it. Currently, we are in the phase of implementing a general protection, but there is a communication with sub-sector level to see of harmonizing in one tool. Now, in case we will ensure as much as possible to minimize the doubled effort in terms of data entry. But we are aiming here to have general protection indicator. In the future, if there is child protection or GBV wish to use their own activity info, as a technical team, we'll liaise with their technical team to find a way to link it together. We're not coming to ask you to double data entry here and there. So that's the way we will see it. I hope I answered some of the earlier questions have been raised by some of the colleagues. I'll stop here, and thanks a lot for your great work in the entire partner here, plus the colleagues Mohammed and Habib. Over, back to you, Mohammed.
Thank you, Jaber. Thank you very much. Colleagues, do you have any further questions? I see Nerissa and Nicholas.
Yes. Hello, Habib. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for the presentation. It's very good. We hope this becomes very effective and it fits into all programming. I just want to ask a question as regards the title of this. It reads Sudan Protection Sector IDP in bracket monitoring tool. Is it just strictly to the IDP response, or because of course we do response in some host community, not particularly IDP settlement per se, but we also record such data here, or this is just to name the database, but we can as well record other information that we collate from the host communities to regards all our activities. Just want clarity.
Mohammed, you would like to answer this question?
Yes, Habib, if I hear it well, so the question was only, so your question, Arisa, is related to, guys, can you close your mic? Okay. So the question,
Sorry, I can
Arisa,
take it again.
yeah.
Yes.
So the question is either
Okay.
these tools will be used only for IDP's response or it will include other response. Is that your question?
Yes, because since it's labeled IDP, and we not only work with IDPs, we also work with people in host communities. So I was asking, do we also record our achievements from host communities in this same tool?
Yes, definitely, big yes. So this is meant for everything in Sudan. So you know, in IDP's response, we call it IDPs, and we include the host as well. But the refugee response is something else. So whenever something related to IDPs and host, it's supposed to be reported here. But anything related to refugee response, it's something else. I hope I answered it correctly.
Oh, sure you did. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Narisa. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Because as well, we have another activity info related to the RCF interagency. It's related to the more refugees. So to do not confuse colleagues who are reporting in both, they have access to both database, so they will not get confused. Is there any other question, colleagues?
It's the right for our colleagues. If you have any question, please feel free to step in. Even if it's in Arabic, both me and Habib, we speak Arabic. So if anyone wants to put any question, please feel free.
I think it is fine. Over. Okay. Taban, please go ahead.
Thank you for the privilege again. Mine is not a concern because on the Excel, the previous Excel we're using for reporting 5Ws has a more elaborate features like the categories of beneficiaries. In terms of their locations is well indicated, but on this feature we don't see. I think some of those features are eliminated, which could give answer to the question of the previous actor, where IDPs or refugees is indicated, but on this feature we don't see that. For instance, a response is carried in maybe an IDP location. Here we cannot see whether it is clearly from IDP. It only shows the locality and the state. So is there any adjustment that can be made in future, maybe to give provision for those features so that can be complete? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Taban, for this. I think it's super valid. You know, I totally agree with you.
Sorry.
But as I mentioned,
can I add? Sorry, Mohamed. Sorry to comment. I just want to add to that question that Taban just asked. Is it also possible to add like persons with disability? If I don't know if I saw it, maybe I missed it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe to also include it, so that when we record, we could also track that as well.
Super valid point. Super valid point. Thank you both for mentioning that, and I totally agree with both of you. As I mentioned to you when we started the presentation, it's like we are in the process of enhancing our reporting methodology, and the tool as well. It's part of this. So definitely, it's something on radar and being captured. Thank you so much for both comments. So speaking about the IDP side, in case of the beyond the locality, and also disaggregation by disabilities, age, gender, and other stuff. Okay, noted. ملك تفضل او تفضلي.
Good morning,
Good
and thank
morning.
you for the helpful presentation. Yes, my question is, if regarding surface mapping, if I'm going to just to look at or to know about surface mapping for a specific state, could I access from this system, or it will be in the separate link? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Malak. Thank you so much, Malak. So first of all, thank you for mentioning the service mapping, and colleagues who attend last cluster meeting, last sector meetings, that I have given update that we are in process of some consultation on the service mapping, and hopefully I give promise that within the next quarter, by mid or end of the next quarter, we'll have a service mapping tool. So for this tool, unfortunately, you will have access only to your data. But definitely, if we manage to have a solid submission from everyone, we can extract some data and share with all of you to use until we have the service mapping. So, but that depends on your submission, the quality, timely, and all other details on place. So, but you will not have access to other organization data. So you have access to your data, but regarding your question for the service mapping, it's on radar, and definitely we'll have something either within next quarter maximum, inshallah. It is something being asked a lot from all sector member within the SAG as well. Part of you are part of the SAG consultation, so that's something on the radar, and it's specific system for the service mapping and referral pathway that we are looking forward. But till then, if we manage to have good submission, quality submission within the January, February, March, we could do some product on April till we finalize the system for supporting you for service mapping on this regard. Habib, if you want to add to this as well, please feel free. Over.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, let's agree that this is HRP reporting 5Ws. It is not case management, so people cannot confuse. So it's purely HRP 5Ws reporting tool. The second point is once it will be, the dashboard will be linked to the activity info, you can easily present and you can have access to the validated records. If you can see here, as you can see here, this is the shelter unified dashboard for 2022. As I presented this time, you can see the area of coverage. You can see you can filter by subsector if you'd like to see what was by shelter or what was by NFI. The same thing, you can select your own organization, and then you can see your analysis for your own organization based on your uploaded data to the activity info. Same thing here, you just select your own organization and you can see the detailed information, and you can use this dashboard as if it is your own dashboard. You just select your own organization. You can present it at any time for any meeting anywhere. Over to you, colleague.
Then, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for your time. Highly appreciated, and hopefully we'll able, inshallah, to enhance our reporting methodology, our reporting frequency, and the quality, inshallah, and make it more visible to our donors, stakeholder, and other colleagues in Sudan. Thank you so much for your time. Over to you, Jaber or Habib, if you want to add anything. Otherwise, I'm happy to close the meeting. Over.